Hey traders, Nick Shaheen here looking at Nikola. Is it real? Is it not real? I don't care. Today's comments are about the charts and how I would advise, say, a good friend on to what is happening and what levels that could matter. The fundamentals, I mean, I don't need to discuss them because they're either people that hate it or that love it and believe in it. I don't know what happened today. 15% down, probably something to do with the CEO or ex-CEO, but there is information in the charts that could help somebody trying to, if they wanted to stop out. I could probably find levels for that. Okay, so I did trade it in the past, and then when things went off the rails with the fact that there could be, some shenanigans going on, I said I don't need this. I stepped out, but I did leave my marks on the chart. So at some point there was a zone from way back then that was of interest, and then they came back into it. They tried for a while, and then again. So if I extend it, look at that. So now they're below it. Now everything inside that zone is scar tissue, so to speak. It won't be easy to cutting through it, but they can do it on some sort of a miracle headline. Here's the thing. If I'm long and stuck long, if it ever pops up to any of these levels, I would call it a gift and would part ways with it. That's me personally. I said that to the Hyliion fans. I didn't like it. I bet you they wish they had that moment at 15 or 16 or 18 back to where, or 22 actually, it did pop to 22 Hyliion. So here is the same scenario. This is a speculative stock. It's not an insult. It's a description of what it is. They don't currently have anything, and the future, the bet now is on the future prospects of their success, correct? So that is by definition speculation that things could happen. It's not an insult. It's a state. So maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. And if that's the case, I don't average down in it because I don't know anything new. It's still speculative. So if I decided to take 100 shares, I wouldn't add to them just because they're now down like 20% of what they were before. So it's not like the case of I bought Tesla and it got cut in half and then I doubled down because Tesla makes $6 billion cash from its own operation, just to use one example. I mean, you can use that on any business. Palantir, crazy stock too, but it has a business, so you can bet on the future to continue. You're not betting on the future to start. You know what I mean? So let's look at what happens now. First of all, I did have a doom scenario. It was a hard line in the sand, but I don't think it is. But look at that. Even if it is, if I extend it to the right, I don't want to lose where it's at coordinates. And if I say 325, maybe that'll be enough. Boom. It goes right through it. So now they're below that. Whether it's a hard line or a zone, it's now a problem to go through. Okay, so in order to get more intelligence, we have to study more. No, just kidding. Zoom in with time. So free fall into a prior mini support. This little point served a base for a pretty darn good rally, 65%. Man, that was pretty incredible. And if it fails, there's another zone like it right down here, even better. It's a double bottom of sort. A double bottom doesn't mean absolute floor. It just means a place where they have used as a floor before. Nothing is foolproof, especially not in a speculative stock like that, especially that the entire market has never been stronger. So there's the outside factor, risk factor. Regardless of this situation, what do you think will happen to this stock if the stock market corrects 10 to 15% or has a full-blown correction, recession at 20% down? You're saying, oh, that'll never happen. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I'm just asking, what do you think will happen? Here, let's look at the S&P. This is the daily chart on the S&P. Let's say it just reverts to the bottom of the channel, just a little reversion to the mean, down 2%. People will freak out like it's the end of the world. They did on Monday, right here somewhere. They did, I don't know, a couple months ago and a couple months before that. Every couple months we have a freak out. What if we have a freak out that lasts more than a few hours? This is a weekly chart in the S&P. So not only do you have to consider the specific stock you're discussing, you have to consider the whole market, because that stock has to trade within the whole market. When the market corrects, everything falls. Equities. So here's the stock market now. After hours, it looks like it's falling out of bed, and it's like that second blue line, okay, on the S&P. So let's say it just falls to the mean. It just reverts to the mean, 10%. What if they overdo it a little bit? 16, 20%. Let it fall 20%, and they're still in the hands of the bull. It's still a bullish market. But what happens to a lot of the stocks if this happens? I'm not calling for this to happen, but you leave the door open for it when you're trying to pile into something that's already losing money. That's the point. At which point do I say, you know what? I should just walk away or stop adding to it. So what if it bounces here tomorrow? It's going to face resistance. I guarantee you that. And if that resistance is too strong and they come back and they lose this, it's going to single digits. This is where I lose a lot of people, and they probably smash their laptop. They shouldn't. This is not a love-hate relationship thing. I'm just speaking to the levels, the way I see things happen. Who did that? Coin? Yeah. So people probably thought that was a bottom here. People thought that was a bottom here. Oh, it's never been lower. Oh, it's never been lower. Oh, wait, it's never been lower. And in coin, I do like it long term. If coin loses this level, it's going much, much lower. Okay, so, and I would buy the dip. I would buy this dip with a tight stop. Same with Nikola. I don't have anything against it, but if it loses the floor, it just opens a trap door. And just like a stock like AMD did today, it went into open air. There's no telling how high it goes because there's no reference. The bears can't short it. When the bears don't have anything to short against, then the bulls are able to just go into open space. Conversely, when a stock goes below a place where it has support, below these, then the bulls have nothing to shoot against. Like here, as it's falling, okay, I'll say I'll buy the dip against these prior bounce levels, and I'll stop out if it doesn't work. That's a strategy. It works that way. But once you lose that, then what do you nothing. So you have to look way back, and is that relevant anymore or not? So these are the kind of things that should be in the mind of the traders that are trying to make a good trade on this wild stock. I mean, this 15%, it doesn't even look big. That's how violent this stock trades. So you better know charts. So now, in fact, it may have already triggered a bearish pattern. So not to scare people, but this looks like a head and shoulders to me of sorts. Usually the technician will say, which I'm not, a head and shoulder, if you lose the neckline of it, it should drop about as much as the head, which puts it somewhere down here, eyeball. Meaning, how high is this? It'll go this much from the neckline. So that's the debate, whether they're going to be able to recover. So if they don't clear from 15, this head and shoulder here is probably unfolding already. So let me do it this way. I'm gonna, so I'd remember I did this. Perfect. Okay, so from here to here, eyeball is about this distance. So I'm gonna leave it just like that. This won't happen if they can come out from this neckline zone. I don't think it's a hard line in the sand. I've seen it, like I've seen it sometime fight to recover the neckline. They go a little bit higher. You think, okay, they're in the clear, and then they revert lower, and then they lose it. And this is a hard floor that you don't want to lose. I would say, don't lose it. Don't lose that. We'll put it on the left side. It's two different statements. One is the hard floor. Second, something may already have started to test this hard floor. This is it. Oh, and did I mention this? Earnings. So management is up in a few, when is that? Early August. So do your homework, find out exactly when. We'll find out if they have something to say. Nick signing out.